Hello and welcome to Louise Singleton Creations. Forgive me if I'm talking fairly quietly today. We've got a brand new puppy. She's not allowing me to do anything. She's crazy and she's currently asleep next to me, so I thought I'd take the chance to try and narrate the video while she's asleep. She's called Bluebell, but we call her Bella, and she's a blue Weimaraner puppy. She's absolutely gorgeous, but a handful. So, this week, I received a parcel from a company that reached out to me that I've never heard of before, but I'm so glad they reached out to me because when I looked on their website, their moulds are just something else. Honestly, I couldn't believe the selection that they had, and they're so different to what I'm used to seeing. The company is called Boowan Nicole, and you must have a look because all of their designs are in-house designed. You don't see them anywhere else, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them as the video progresses. But for now, have a look at what they sent me. You can't see what the moulds are exactly just yet, but in this video I'm going to be using them with Aqua Cast to make some absolutely stunning items. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned and enjoy the video. So as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm using Aqua Cast today. Aqua Cast is an eco resin from Elichem Resins, and it's perfect for today's job because I'm going to be making candle holders, amongst other things, but candle holders are the main things, and Aqua Cast is perfect for that. And so let's get started. I've already mixed it up, and for the first two moulds, I'm keeping it white. So the two moulds I'm starting with are both very similar. In fact, the two that you can see now are the same, but one of them came with a lid because it's a candle jar, and the other one came with a base because it's a plant pot and it's got like a decorative base with it, but the body is the same on both of them. And I chose those because I thought they would make a nice gift set, you know, a matching candle pot and a matching plant pot. I thought they would go nice together. So yeah, I will only show you filling of one of them because it was the same for both. I started off by pouring in just a little bit, letting it flow to the bottom and then giving it a really good squeeze around the bottom. These moulds have got a nice, the only word I can use to really describe it is squidgy texture. They're really soft and squidgy. They're 100% platinum silicone, the food grade as well, so that's perfect if you use your moulds for food. And yeah, I just love them. So anyway, yeah, I've added a bit to the bottom, squeezing it around the bottom to make sure there's no trapped air in there. And I'm spending a long time filling it, really making sure I'm patting it around the sides to get rid of any micro bubbles, especially where it curves up around the edges at the top, because when you get a curve at the top in a mould, that's where you will get lots of little micro bubbles trapped where they just can't rise up to the surface. So yeah, I took lots and lots of time. You might have noticed that there's quite a lot of lumps in the Aqua Cast, and that's because I was making up such a large amount. It's harder to get rid of the lumps. Really, I should have sieved it. I need to get a sieve just for Aqua Cast. I didn't want to pinch my kitchen sieve. Normally Aqua Cast is pretty good, but my tub that I keep it in, I'm getting near the bottom of it, and it's been opened so many times, the moisture in the air I think has made it get a few lumps in it, which does happen eventually, and so yeah, that's why it's a little bit lumpy. And when you see the camera shaking, that's because I'm bashing at the table, because those vibrations really help any little bubbles come up to the surface. Once I'd finished filling it, I took the supports and put those on, and when both sides are in position, you just clip them together with the bulldog clips which were provided as well. And even though I've sped this up, you can get an idea of the amount of time I spent on that to make sure it was really perfect. And the Aqua Cast is still nice and workable. Aqua Cast has a really long working time. And after doing this one, I did another one the same. And next, I do the lid and the support for the plant pot, which you'll see in just a second. But the Aqua Cast was fine for all that time. When you're using some of the two-part casting compounds, you only have a 10-minute working time, and that's just no good if you want to really take your time with it. So that's another reason why I love Aqua Cast. So once those two moulds were filled, I started on the lid for the candle jar and the base for the plant pot. Now the lid for the candle jar has a flat round handle, and as you can see, you've got to kind of squeeze it from underneath to make sure there's no bubbles in there. And it was completely bubble free when I took it out the mould, which you'll see soon, just because I gave it that good squeeze. And other than that, it was very easy to fill, as was the other one, which is just the stand. That was very simple too. At first, I wasn't sure what the other one was for. I thought maybe it was a tray to catch water that went inside the pot. I really wasn't sure, and I had to have another look on the website, but it's a stand and it makes the plant pot just a bit taller. You don't have to use it, it's optional. So along with soap making and candle making supplies, Boowan Nicole have loads of moulds to choose from soap moulds to candle moulds and concrete moulds, which is what we're looking at today. And as you can see from the list, they have a whole selection of concrete moulds, from bathroom accessories to coasters and plant pots, candle holders, incense holders, Kotuk moulds, clock moulds, office accessories, they're all there. So many, and they're so unique. And a big bonus is it's free shipping for North America, most of Europe, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and most of Asia. Can you believe that? Free shipping to all those places. Plus, I'll be giving you a discount code in the video description, so it's definitely worth having a look. Okay, so you'll be seeing those demolded shortly, but let's get on to the next mould, which is my favourite. You won't be able to tell what it is yet. I'm going to keep it as a surprise for when I take it out the mould. You won't believe your eyes, I couldn't. It actually took my breath away, and this has gone down as my favourite all-time mould ever. And that's saying a lot, because I've got a lot of moulds, but this one is just, I'm repeating myself now, but I just couldn't believe it. And now I want the rest of the set, because they do some others as well. So this time I'm using Autumn Harvest pigment in there, and that's from Homeware Design Co. on Etsy. I'll leave a link and discount code to them. Their pigments for eco resins are just gorgeous. So yeah, this one is the Autumn Harvest. So you've seen a lot of pouring now and been very patient listening to me. I think it's time for some demolding, don't you? Let's have a look to see how these turned out. So whenever you get a new mould, you kind of have to get acquainted with it to find out the best way of demoulding it. All moulds are a little bit different, but I found that these ones are so soft and supple that they turn inside out nicely. It's just a case of working out the best way of getting it started. I found that getting a little bit of it bent over, holding it in position and doing the rest was the best way. I'm making it look a bit more difficult than it was, because it was my first time with this mould, but once you get used to it, it gets easier, and you can just put both your hands on and just roll it down. You see there, I've got it started, and after that it was easy. I could turn it upside down, and that's easier as well once you've got it started, and just pull it upwards. Then all of a sudden it turns inside out, and you can squeeze it to get the middle loosened, and then all of a sudden it will come out. So let's have a look to see what this pot design is like. So I really love the simplicity of this one. I think it's very, very beautiful, but I did have an idea for it. Even though it looks lovely as it is, all those indentations were just calling out to me to fill them with some coloured UV resin, and I will be doing that shortly to show you how you can get a really different effect with it. But first, let's get the other one out of the mould and we'll have a look at the lid and the pot stand. We'll go into super speedy mode because I can't wait to show you the other one, my favourite one. So here we have the lid, and I really do like it. I think it's so cool looking. Yeah, gorgeous. And as you can see, I put that little plant pot stand inside because I didn't know what to do with it. But you'll see it done properly soon. So anyway, let's have a look at my favourite one because I just couldn't wait to show you. This one was a lot easier to demold because it's got the nice straight sides, but because there was a lot of detail in there, you do need to take a little bit of care when demolding it. But yeah, it came off easy. Right, are you ready for it? Take a look at that. Oh my word, look at that. Let's get into focus. Into focus and look. Absolutely beautiful. I did get a few little micro bubbles in there because there's a lot of fine detail. So I did do another one, which I'll show you in the end. And I took more time on it, but it's pretty smooth and I just love the architectural design. It was jaw-dropping for me. It really was. I'm in love with that mould and I can't wait to fill it with wax and make it into a candle. So let's have a look at the lid. So again, we've got one or two little bubbles, but that's not a problem. With the next one, I knew to take more time on it, but I love it. Isn't that just amazing? Wait till you see it on the pot. And there we go. I couldn't wait to try it out in some different colours. I was trying to keep that one kind of like a sandstone colour. And so, yeah, I kept with those kind of tones with my other experiments. Could you hear my puppy snoring in the background there? Oh, now she's yawning. So along with all the gorgeous moulds, Boowan Nicole also sent me a range of sanding blocks. Now these sanding blocks are really useful. They come in all different shapes and sizes and they have Velcro on them, and there's 3 different sandpapers. You get, I think it's a 100 and I think it's a 400 and a 1000 grit. So you start with the coarsest one and work your way down, and it's for wet sanding really, but you can use it dry and you can wash them afterwards, the sandpapers, and wash all the debris off and they're good as new again once they've dried out. So they're really, really good. I love these. So yeah, I'm going to be using these for the bottoms of my jars because that's where it's all rough, where you've poured it, it will always be rough. So these sanding blocks polished them down nicely. So as I mentioned earlier on, I thought those indentations on the white pots would be perfect for adding some UV resin, some coloured UV resin. And so that's what I'm doing now. I've got a range of 6 colours from my Let's Resin set. There's a set of 12 colours and I've chosen 6 because there are 42 indentations. Yes, I counted them. I wanted to make sure my pattern worked and all met up correctly at the end. So I'm doing 7 lots of 6 colours and that will do it nicely. And so yeah, it's just a case of very carefully applying it into the indentation. You can do 3 of the indentations in one go before curing. I wouldn't do any more than that. And as you can see, the little bottles that you get the UV resin in let you make the resin come out very carefully and slowly. You've got really good control with them. And so I did it very slowly. I didn't fill them up. I just did a line down the middle and then used a micro brush just to tease it to the edges, and that was enough. And I did that with each colour until it was completely filled up. So after each set of 3, I put it under the lamp only for about 30 seconds because it would go under the lamp again with the next 3 and the next 3, and it would get its full curing time eventually. You just need to cure it long enough for it to not move around as you move the pot. It just needs to stay still, not be fully cured. So here it is when it's all fully filled, and I really like it. I think those colours are beautiful. So it's just an alternative way of doing it. Probably not ideal if you're making them to sell because it took a long time. But if you're just making a special gift, yeah, it looks beautiful. So when I put the lid on, it just looked like there was something missing. And so I decided to add UV resin into the middle of the lid as well, because that's got a dip in it, so that would hold the UV resin nicely. I chose the purple pink. I just decided to use one of the colours from my pattern, and that one looked like the nicest one. So yeah, I'm filling it with the purple pink and then curing it for about 3 minutes afterwards, and then it was finished. And here they are, standing pretty together, and don't they make a lovely couple? And here it is with the wax in, so it's all ready to be lit for whoever I give it to. So yeah, I love that finished set. And here we have some more that I made in more vivid colours. We have vivid orange, vivid pink and blue lagoon from Homeware Design. And there they are with the lids off. I'm very happy with those. Oh, and the other thing is I treated those with wax afterwards, and that really intensified the colours and protected them, of course. And I carried on making the architectural pots because I loved it so much. I tried out all the different autumn range of colours from Homeware Design. I think I like the lightest one best. So pretty. And so yeah, I'm very, very happy with these. Let's see the 3 that I made into candles. So here they are, what a handsome trio they make. The wax I've used is soy wax and beeswax, both 100% natural with wooden wicks. And yeah, I think they're great. Next, I want to treat myself to these 2. Won't they make a good set? I love those. So we've reached the end of the video. If you're interested in Aqua Cast or the moulds from Boowan Nicole, I will leave all the links in the video description along with the discount codes. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And have a very Merry Christmas. I will see you again next week. Thank you for watching and bye for now.